Hello everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode on my channel, Bohemian BookClub. Today, I'll be discussing the book, Works Well with Others, Shaking Hands, Shutting Up, and Other Crucial Skills in Business That No One Ever Teaches You, written by Ross McCammon. Ross McCammon is an editor at GQ magazine, and the business etiquette columnist at Entrepreneur magazine. He was a senior editor at Esquire magazine from 2005 to 2016, where he was responsible for the magazine's coverage of pop culture, drinking, cars, and etiquette. He has written for Elle, Cosmopolitan, Wired, Bloomberg Businessweek, Texas Monthly, and Parents. More than 15 years ago, Ross McCammon made the difficult transition from Dallas to New York, where he began working for the prestigious Esquire magazine. At his new job, McCammon experienced bouts of anxiety and overwhelming awkwardness, until he was able to figure out how to navigate the workplace, while simultaneously feeling completely unprepared for success. Works Well with Others is McCammon's touching and hilarious journey, from fly on the wall to authority, a story that reveals the workplace for what it is, an often absurd landscape of ego and fear, guided by social rules that no one really understands. In the book, McCammon talks about how to shake hands, what to talk about in an elevator, and how to deal with jerks and underminers, thereby helping you deal with the people in your work environment more effectively. Before moving ahead, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Part 1: The Imposter Phenomenon. When people have a new job that is different from their tenure, they often believe they don't belong. This is because they have to work with people who are different from them, and make decisions that are not in their comfort zone. This may often lead people to feel like imposters, pretending to be someone they are not. This is known as the imposter phenomenon. This happens when people start to believe that they are not as successful as other people think they are. The imposter phenomenon is the result of high expectations and unrealistic standards in society, and is typically experienced by people who have just started their career. Imposter phenomenon is commonly seen in creative industries like advertising and marketing, where people are constantly compared to their peers and superiors. It can lead to feelings of anxiety, depression, and insecurity if it's not addressed properly. However, it is important to remember that you can always learn and grow from these experiences. If you are feeling out of place in a new job, it is a good idea to stay positive and see the bright side of things. It is important to be aware that there are many different types of people in the workplace. It's also important to remember that not everyone will like you, or think the same way as you do. Most importantly, remember that you're not the only one who feels insecure and out of place. Everyone feels weird and nervous at some point during their career, even if they're famous or important. Part 2: Talking to a recruiter. Recruiting is a big industry. Big companies need to find workers for all types of positions quickly, and recruiters are a great source of talent hunting, which is why recruiters are the first ones you need to impress during the hiring process. For many interviewees, the interview process is a difficult one. They are faced with the pressure of impressing a potential employer, and they may not be prepared for all of the questions that are thrown at them. However, interviews with recruiters can be more intimidating than interviews with your future employer, because you are in a competitive field, and the recruiter is trying to find out if you're a good fit for the client company. The first thing recruiters look for while interviewing a candidate is punctuality. Always be on time for your interview. Also, be honest about your current position and your future expectations. Don't talk negatively about your current employer. Instead, focus on discussing what your strengths are, and how you're working on your weaknesses, and how you can contribute to your future organization. Lastly, ask questions and get as clear an idea about the position you're applying for as possible. Part 3. Eye contact. When you enter a room full of strangers for an interview, it's important to make a good first impression. The best way to make a great first impression is through eye contact. Not only does it make you look more confident, but it also shows that you are interested in what they have to say. Also, it can make the person you are talking to feel more comfortable and help you get your point across. There are two types of eye contact: direct eye contact and peripheral vision. Direct eye contact is when your eyes meet, while peripheral vision is looking at someone without making direct eye contact. The author suggests maintaining direct eye contact during your interview at least half the time. If you make less eye contact, people might think that you lack confidence. If you keep staring at others continuously, it might freak them out. Hence, make sufficient eye contact to convey a healthy, confident image of yourself. Part 4. Don't pretend to know what you don't. It's important to know your limits and not pretend to know something you don't. It's not always easy to admit when you don't have the skills for a certain task, which is why most of us often pretend to know things we've no idea about. But this can be detrimental for your image in the long run, especially at your workplace. Pretending or faking shows lack of respect for your audience. If you want to be an expert on a certain topic, make sure that you have done sufficient research and gathered enough information on the subject. To listen to more interesting summaries, please subscribe to my channel. Part 5. Use professional language. It is important to be mindful of the words and phrases that are used in the workplace. There are some words that can be used in a casual setting, but should not be used when you are in a professional setting. Using appropriate language can help to create a professional image for yourself. It is also important to understand what your company's culture is like before using certain words or phrases. If you want to be a professional, then you'll need to learn how to talk like one. It's not just about having a good vocabulary, but also about knowing how to use it properly. For example, avoid using the phrases "I think" and "just my opinion," as they can be interpreted as passive-aggressive. Similarly, saying "I'm sorry" brings an emotional quotient to the workplace, so avoid saying "I'm sorry," and instead say, "I know what mistakes were made, and it won't happen again." Part 6. Making small talk. It is important to speak professionally at work while also engaging in small talk. Small talk helps you make a personal connection with people and establish trust. Small talk is also important in the workplace because it can help you get ahead in your career. It's a great way to show your personality and build rapport with your colleagues. You should never underestimate the importance of small talk. The best way to do small talk is by asking your coworkers about their interests and hobbies. By starting a conversation, you are able to break the ice and get to know one another better. Also, it's important to be curious and engage in active listening about what is being talked about. Part 7. Wearing appropriate clothes. The power of clothes is undeniable. They can make or break a person. They can be the difference between being a nobody and someone who has their own identity. It is important to be able to find clothes that fit in with your workspace and also makes you feel confident in what you do. The key to wearing something that fits the part is knowing what your job entails. Wearing appropriate clothing can make you feel like you are on top of your game. For instance, a woman wearing a suit is likely to be more assertive in her interactions with others, while a man wearing a suit is likely to be perceived as more authoritative. Typically, if you're going for an interview at a bank or financial organization, it's the norm to wear a suit and a tie. On the other hand, if you're going for an interview at an advertising agency, you might want to dress more casually. Conclusion. Sometimes it can feel like a fish out of water when you start working in the business world. Even if you've had prior experience, seeing people who seem to have everything figured out can make you feel unprepared and inadequate for your own role. However, the reality is that nobody is immune from feeling lost or anxious. Even the most successful person at your company has probably felt lost, overwhelmed, and anxious like you at some point in their career. Following the tips and using the tools provided in this book will help you get past that awkwardness and anxiety and boost your confidence. For example, shake people's hands with your eyes focused on them before you go in for the conversation. Acknowledge making mistakes and goofing up as part of learning on the job. Also, don't apologize for your mistakes. Instead, learn how to avoid making the same error in the future. Lastly, learn to master the small talk and dress in a way that fits the part. Thank you for watching this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Your likes, comments, and shares are highly appreciated. See you soon in our next episode.